Hey everybody, welcome to another fantastic episode of Glorious Nightmares, the horror movie podcast. We're going to have a great time today. I am Cameron Rice, joined by
Adam Hlavic. What's up, everybody?
We're going to have a good one. We're talking about our week in horror. We're going to do our top 5 shocking moments in horror films, and we're also going to do a review of Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby. We're going to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
But first of all, there's some stuff I will say in my week of horror that we're saving for the next episode. Our next episode is going to be a Jaws special.
Oh,
so
boy.
There's some Jaws specifics. I had a little bit of my week of horror. I had other things too, but
Yeah.
And for those wondering, we're like, what about the homework? We had a little bump. We could talk about it. Literally a bump. I was in the middle of watching one of the movies.
Oh my God.
Adam texted me and said, "Hey, can we push this to the next recording? I got a flat tire."
Yeah. I'm in the middle of watching Dawn of the Dead, and I get a text from my girlfriend that says, I'm on the side of the freeway. Your car had a blowout. I had to take her car in to get brakes replaced. And then, of course, what happens? The other car gets a blowout. So I'm like, great.
Oh, man.
I got to stop what I'm doing. It took about an hour and a half to deal with that. And then I had to make it to a Superman screening at 7, and I made it there with literally 10 minutes to spare. So we will get to the homework, but I need to finish Dawn of the Dead, and I need to watch Starry Eye. So yeah, we're gonna push that a little bit.
So y'all got more time.
Yeah,
you got more time. Congratulations. It's like when your teacher gets a cold.
Yeah,
or the homework's due. And
the homework's not due for another 3 days.
Substitute comes in. You're like, on a Friday.
You just see the TV come in. You're like, yes.
Oh man, nothing better.
God, I miss those days.
But let's talk about the week in horror. How's yours been? What have you been doing?
Well, this is not great for this episode. I watched Jaws 3 times. Because I went to, I think I mentioned the last episode too.
Yes.
I went to a screening at the Alamo Draft House, which is for the 50th anniversary of Jaws. Then I came home from being in Big Bear for the weekend, and my girlfriend wanted to watch it. She hadn't seen it in a while. So we watched it. She loved it. We had a great time with it. She was amazed by how it holds up. And then the following weekend, I had a backyard movie night with just a couple friends and her parents, and we watched Jaws in the backyard.
Hell yeah.
And I wheeled out the projector screen. It's a 120-inch projector screen, so I was hopeful that it would look and sound good. I pulled out the sound system, and it was really cool. And I used a lot of the stuff that I got at the screening to decorate the backyard. And one of the things that they gifted us was the 50th anniversary remaster of the soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, the Mondo.
The Mondo. So I had that playing in the background. My girlfriend looked up some food and drinks that we could make, so she made some stuff. I had a few decorations. It was so fun. And I had actually been wanting to do backyard movie nights this entire year. But
well, because you're in San Diego, which is the thing about, I always feel like trying to plan stuff in LA, despite the constant, talk that LA is like, it's always 70 and sunny.
Right.
I feel like anytime you want to actually do something outside in LA, suddenly it's cloudy.
Yeah.
Suddenly
Cloudy,
it's raining.
on the verge of rain, and it's like freezing cold, and you're like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
So and we really lucked out with the weather. It was like low 70s, perfect temperature. So, it was before 4th of July, but we still busted out the hot dogs and hamburgers, had some cocktails, and we had a really fun time. It was a really small group. There's only 6 people total. Yep. And yeah, everybody, one of my friends who I've known since I was a kid, he had never seen Jaws before.
Okay.
So that was a special moment to have him sit there and watch it, and to also be able to experience it in that kind of a setting. It's not the big screen, but it's probably the next best thing rather than watching it on like a 40-inch TV. And we had a blast. So I had been wanting to do it all year. As you know, with time and so much stuff going on in our lives,
time management, maybe
to literally have one Saturday a month to do it is much harder said than done. But we're gonna do another one we're in July, so in August we're gonna do Hook.
Okay.
And I think in October we haven't really
all Spielberg beach-based films.
I know, which is funny because we were like, so we were thinking about Goonies and something else, and I was like, well, like let's do Hook, and I think that'd be a fun one. We've also talked about maybe doing like Space Jam or Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but we don't have a movie picked for Halloween yet, and I don't think we'll do Halloween because everyone's seen it at this point.
Yeah. Pick something obscure.
I know, I do. I want to pick something fun, something different that is going to surprise people. And
Frankenhooker now.
Oh my
Finally,
God.
now's the time.
Oh, sorry to my 8-year-old niece who can't come. You'll be watching Nightmare Before Christmas on the inside.
Listen, they got to learn.
Yeah, I know.
They got to learn. Sometimes not all movies are made for you.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. Maybe if I go through, I've also been getting new 4Ks. So I got the new 4K remaster of Lethal Weapon. So I've been going through those on a rotation.
Spot check.
Yeah, and like seeing how they are. But other than that, I think that's mostly it when it comes to horror. Like I ran through everything that I watched at the cabin. We talked about 28 Years Later, which we have a review on. We had it early on Patreon, but it's also going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, remember, we are going to have cool stuff on Patreon, so make sure you're over there being a part of it. And in the Discord, conversations have been fun over there. People have been sharing poster art and stuff like that. So it's been a good time. So for me, I guess, I'll talk about the Jaws experiences and then little other things.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah. So we've all had our Jaws experiences. It's 50th anniversary.
Yours sounded pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think, so first of all, I think it was actually probably the same day you went to Alamo. That evening, me and my girlfriend watched Jaws. Similarly, she had seen parts of it. She was like, I feel like I've seen it. I don't know, kind of one of those like by osmosis.
Yep.
It's on TNT all the time. It's parodied, moments, scenes. So I was like, okay, so we watched it. And at the end of it, I was like, so did you see this? And she goes, you know what? She's like, I think I've seen almost all of the first half. She's like, I don't think I've seen a lot of the orca and stuff like that.
Got it.
And I was like, oh man, it's so good. So for me, I was like, well, that was it. I did the Jaws 50th anniversary. And then we were talking about that it's going to come out in 4D. And so I made jokes with her about like, let's go see it in 4DX. Let's get spritzed.
I bought my tickets for 3D.
Yeah. We're going to do it. But then the next day, she texted me and said, I know we just watched it last night, but what do you think about this? So the Hollywood Bowl was doing Jaws in concert with the LA Philharmonic.
Why would you not go?
And so I was like, well, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. And so bought the tickets. The Bowl, which is great about the Bowl, if you've never been to the Bowl, if they have like something like that, they do kind of theme it up a little bit. So they had like the Amity billboard of like shark in the water kind of a thing. They had actors playing Quint and Brody in front of that.
I wonder if it's the same
photos.
I wonder if it's the same guys that were at the 50th thing that I went to.
Oh, maybe. And so, you're seeing like a lot of Jaws t-shirts.
Yeah.
And then some of them are good and some of them are too busy. Too busy. Too much writing. Too much stuff going on. Not clean. But it was really cool. And so it was also, seeing David Newman, the film composer in his own right, was actually the conductor for the show that night.
Cool.
We got pretty decent seats, and it was. We had Jersey Mike's. We sat in a little picnic area and ate some Jersey Mike's. Ooh, boy, baby, let me tell you,
so good.
Had a great time.
Club
Jersey
sub?
Mike's. If you ever want to sponsor a horror podcast,
Oh my God, please! I'll eat club subs every day.
Yeah, we'll eat them on camera.
Mike's way, anyway. I don't care.
But what was really great, and this is what's always great about seeing a movie like this with people who you got to think like some people know the movie very well. That's why they're here, but they're probably bringing people who maybe are in a boat of like,
Totally.
I've never seen it. I've seen bits. I've seen da-da-da-da. And so specifically like the moments where an audience will react and it's like laughing and stuff like that, but also where they'll really get like, ugh, kind of a thing. So like the death of Alex Kittner, the Kittner boy death, with the Hollywood Bowl pretty much sold out, the audience reacted.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And same with like Ben Gardner's head in the boat. That got a big reaction. And then me and my girlfriend had a little game we were playing where I'm like, where's the half break? Where's the break? Because if you've never been to the Hollywood Bowl or any of the live orchestra shows with a film, they will do an intermission.
Right.
Even if the movie's only like so long, they will still do an intermission because again, there's professional musicians who can't play for 2 hours straight. They need a break.
Need a little bit of a break.
And so my bet was, I think the intermission will hit when they get on the orca.
That's what
before the orca takes off.
That's what I was thinking.
And I nailed it.
Okay.
It was like literally the scene when Brody's with his wife and she's like, do you have your Dramamine? Do you have this, that, and the other? And they get on the boat and the boat starts taking off and the thing started to fade.
Perfect.
And she looked at me and she's like, you nailed it. I was like, yeah. Baby.
Yeah. Well, and and as you were talking about it and as my girlfriend was like discovering this movie, I'm like, man, it really is. It does feel, and it's not that Jaws is not excessively long or anything. It's like perfectly paced and great length, but it really feels like, oh, we're about to watch the second film. In a lot of ways.
It's very clean 3 acts in that film.
Yeah.
It's all the opening with just Brody, once Hooper shows up, and then Quentin in the boat, the end. It's perfectly 3 acts, the 3 guys. And then, so they did that. The next night, I went to Killer Fitness, which if you're in the LA area, is a gym that 3 friends of mine who are in the horror community created. They run like dance classes, but it's all horror themed. So they have like horror movies. It's in the Burbank area.
Oh, okay.
And so they play horror movies or horror soundtracks while they work out.
That's awesome.
And stuff like that.
What?
And they also do film screenings. So they showed Cruel Jaws. Have you heard of Cruel Jaws?
I recently saw like a poster or cover of this movie. I think I was scrolling through Instagram and somebody was talking about like, if you love Jaws, you should check out Cruel Jaws.
So I'm going to do it. We're going to have to make a soundboard with eventually when we bring up this, the Italians. The joys of the exploitation market. When something hits in the 70s, they're going to do their own version of it. So Cruel Jaws is not necessarily the 70s redo of Jaws in Italy, but it was, my God, what a story. So it is essentially, they made this in the mid 90s. So they took truly just straight up clips from the 4 Jaws movies and just interspliced it throughout the movie.
What?
To like, and then it's just the plot of Jaws. There is a sheriff, there's a nerdy guy who is into sharks, and there is a nature guy who's basically the Quint who runs a boat. But he's the father. This is where they get the differences. He's in fact the father of the nerdy shark guy.
What?
That's not a twist. They put it out right there.
Oh my God.
And they own like a SeaWorld kind of a thing. But so it's like this producer paid this Italian company to go make it. But they made it in America with American actors in 1995. And it is straight dialogue straight from Jaws. It is the same, like, you need to close the beaches. We're not going to close the beach. But rather than, like, we're not going to close the beach because it's 4th of July, they don't close the beach because it's the regatta, the boat races. All the shark footage is shark footage from either, like, documentaries or the Jaws films.
What? How the hell did they get away with that?
And then
they do? No.
The finale is scored by... When I say this doesn't mean they grabbed the soundtrack. Whoever was doing the music just did the score from Star Wars.
What?
Oh yeah. And the guy who is like the Quint of this movie looks like Hulk Hogan.
What?
Like, it's wild. The Italians, man. They didn't care.
Wow.
And
but it's in English or it's in Italian?
It's in English.
Oh, it's in English. Okay.
And so Severin put it out. It was a big announcement. Severin, they're putting out Cruel Jaws because it also took scenes from what was called The Last Shark. The Last Shark was the 70s Italian Jaws.
Oh, I see.
And was straight up just Jaws. And this producer put it out, made a cool $18 million when it came out. No way it cost that much. And Universal then blocked it and was like, no, you don't.
No, sneaky.
So then the 90s, this other producer, director took clips from The Last Shark, the 4 Jaws movies, and
oh my God,
and just spliced it and hired actors to then do the connective tissue bits.
Wow.
And
they made their own Power Rangers.
Oh my God, I'll tell you what. And so Severin put it out, and then it quickly was like, oh, I guess we can't put this out.
Really?
Seemingly. So
you probably can't get it now.
Well, you can get it if you look around.
Oh, but not like from Severin's website, probably.
No, but did I order it and now I'm getting it? Yes, I did. It's on its way.
I missed out. Damn.
But yeah, what a ride. And like a perfect watch with a crowd kind of movie. And a fun capper to my Jaws experience of watching like Jaws with my girlfriend alone, Jaws at the Hollywood Bowl, and then Cruel Jaws with a bunch of horror geeks who are MST3King through this Italian ripoff.
That sounds better than watching the sequels, truthfully.
I have not. I got 2 on 4K.
Yeah. There's still a lot of things I enjoy about 2.
There's things I enjoy about 2. I'm debating, do I show this to my girlfriend or do I keep it like
kind of pure?
Jaws is Jaws.
Yeah.
Don't worry about part 2.
Right.
Not that frankly, she's not said anything about being interested in watching it, but so that's just one of those debates in my head where I'm like, well, do I?
Totally. Well, and I also really appreciate that Spielberg is not one of those directors who like, oh, let's tee up a sequel. Most movies back then were not that way. Let's tee up things for a sequel. Now you'd be like, oh, I guess we got to watch the second one. But back then it was like, hey, you just watch Jaws 1 and you get the full experience and you're done.
Yeah, and so
you never have to go to SeaWorld.
Truly, no, you never do. So that was some great stuff, and then that was sort of the big stuff with my horror week because 4th of July.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, that was all hot dogs and hamburgers, baby.
Yeah.
There was,
I had a lot of
the
those.
horror was the bathroom the next day.
You know what's actually funny about that is I've been drinking a lot less. And because I've been going to it was my birthday, then I went to a bachelor, and then I went to I took my girlfriend to Palm Springs for her birthday.
Yeah.
It's like 3 straight weekends of not like drinking excessively, but just drinking casually. And I'm not used to that anymore. And I woke up the next day and I'm like,
getting close to 40, baby.
yeah. And I wake up the next morning, I'm like, no.
Like, what have I done?
Yeah. Why did I mix tequila and hot dogs?
But that was a lot of watching, and I am currently reading. It's not a horror book, but I am reading Stephen King's new book right now.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Which is him using the Holly Gibney character, which he created in the Finders Keepers trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
More of a detective kind of story, but it's Stephen King. So,
Yeah.
great quotes,
Yeah.
fun little moments. The killer is psychotic, and I could definitely see if they make it into a movie, you could push it more into a Silence of the Lambs-esque
interesting
thing where the killer's like, this person's sick.
Nice. Actually, the last time that we recorded, after I left, I went up to Burbank and I saw Life of Chuck, which you had seen already. We talked about it briefly. And once I was on my way home, I was texting you and I was mentioning that there was things I liked in that movie, and then there was things that I felt very unfulfilled in a lot of ways.
Yeah. You're mentioning that.
Yeah, and I was kind of bummed out because the trailers gave this very life affirming, very positive, good hearted vibe. And then I'm watching the movie and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if all of these 3 pieces of story work together. And I also was really expecting to get a lot more time with Chuck as an adult.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston probably filmed 3 days on this movie.
He's in it for maybe 15 minutes at most, which really kind of threw me. I was like, whoa, what? The main character? But there's some elements that I love, a little bit of spoilers, but I love the way the movie starts.
Yes.
And I love, again, spoilers, how we see the character go. But everything that happens in the world around him, I'm like, this is very creative and cool. And then we start to work our way backwards, and I'm like, okay, I'm vibing with this. But I feel like before I could really get hooked in emotionally, it would go to the next segment or something else would happen. I'm like, oh man, there's something just not clicking for me.
I do wonder on a second watch, because I loved it. I did find it, and again, I don't know if that's for me. There's also a degree of, we talked about when I talked about it, was Stephen King's books also have a sense of melancholy.
Totally.
That the films rarely even attempt. It's not even like an attempt and they fail. They just are like, listen, let's just get the creepy thing in there. We don't need to worry about the melancholy of the sad person. And so I think I appreciated watching, and Flanagan I think is the right guy to do it, of a Stephen King adaptation, because it's one of Stephen King's short stories.
Yeah.
Where it's there's just this kind of sense of melancholy. And the life of affirmations, I think I did get, especially I think in the final scene where it's you kind of have an idea of your fate, but you could still live a rich life and do stuff with it. And that sort of idea of having a universe in your head and all this other stuff. And I was like, ooh, I like all that. I like that it was very, for lack of a better way of putting it, simple. I think Mark Hamill's great in it.
So good.
I think everyone's really there's I believe the actress Mina Sarah from
Ferris Bueller.
Is so good.
So good.
That
was a surprising moment. There was stuff with her that was surprising.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh wow. I think that's the thing that maybe frustrated me with my experience of the movie was that stuff that hit really, really well. I just wanted more of it.
Right.
So I could be a little bit more emotionally tied to the movie, because they are great. That trio, even the kid that plays the youngest version of Chuck, was really, really great. And I love when he goes to the dance and he has that moment with the girl he's got a crush on. Even the dancing sequences in the gym. I forget the actress's name, but she's been in a lot of Mike Flanagan stuff who played the teacher. She is awesome. She's always pitch perfect and all of this stuff. So there was a lot of stuff that I was like, oh man, this is great. This is great. And then it ends on Jacob Tremblay and then goes to credits. And I was like, oh, that's it. Okay. And I think maybe it's also because the way, again, we talk about marketing. The complexities of marketing movies like that, it builds up in your head that you're building towards something. Yeah. Something that maybe is a little bit bigger than what you're expecting. And then it doesn't do that. And you go, was I cheated? Or did I just put too much pressure on this movie because of the trailers?
Yeah, that's why I kind of wonder. Like, I'm a big proponent of the second watch.
Yeah,
especially if it's like
totally.
I liked it, but and then once you know what you're getting into, there's a degree. But yeah, I'm glad you saw it in theaters because I know
Me too.
that kind of disappeared pretty quickly.
Such a bummer because again, like we talked about last time, Mike Flanagan is not some nobody.
Yeah,
he's incredible talent who's working on so much stuff right now. Dark Tower, Carrie, the Exorcist stuff at Universal. So very, very proactive in horror. So I don't know. I'm just a little bit confused. Maybe it was the marketing that they were like, we don't know how to market this.
Maybe
we don't want
I think it's also like a weirdly busy, packed summer.
That's true too. Yeah, it's coming out in the middle of like Superman and F1 and all these other things.
Well, like an example. Yeah, F1's an example. So it's like F1 came out like only 2 weeks ago, and then so many of the theaters it did well. Like but so many of the theaters it was in, it got pushed out by Jurassic World.
Yep.
Like 4 days later.
Yeah.
So it was like I took my mom this past weekend to go see F1, but it was like finding some times to go. I was like, oh, it's a little bit harder now.
Yeah.
Because Jurassic World took over a bunch of the theaters.
Totally. Yeah. And I think that's my major frustration with the theatrical like distribution.
Yep.
Especially in the last couple of years as studios have been trying to like get out of COVID and recoup and do all this stuff. We're packing these movies so close together. Like I feel like when we were, and of course the volume of movies that are made is much higher, I think, than it was back when we were younger. But I feel like you would go 4 to 6 weeks before another big movie would come out. Like if you had Batman and Robin coming out in theaters, I don't know what was coming out in like the following 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Maybe there was something. I don't know.
Look up 1997.
But
releases.
I just feel like today it's you're going from F1 to Jurassic Park to Superman to Fantastic Four, and then in between you have things like Eddington coming out, and I'm like, it just never stops.
Yeah,
never stops.
No, it's crazy.
It's very crazy. So yeah, and I mean, in all honesty, like I have not seen F1 yet. I have tickets to go see it because my whole thing is like everyone I think knows is I'm a format guy. Like I love to be able to experience things in 3D and IMAX, 4DX, whatever's available. And because Jurassic Park was not getting, or Jurassic World Rebirth was not getting an IMAX release, I knew that I had at least bought myself a little bit of time to see F1. But I know that after tomorrow, F1 is going to be done in IMAX theaters. So I'm like, great, I have to go tomorrow because after tomorrow, Superman's going to be in all the IMAX theaters. And I don't know when I'll see that movie in IMAX again. So yeah, I have to do that and then figure out my tire situation. So we'll figure out how I'm going to do all that.
Then we got to find time to record our Dead trilogy.
That also.
Okay, so Batman and Robin comes out June 20th.
Yeah.
June 27th, so a week later, which I'm not saying this is competition, but it is same as the action genre, Face Off.
Oh, okay.
And then July 1st is Men in Black.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. I think maybe we also kids just didn't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
And then July 11th was Contact. Man, what a summer.
Oh, but also the interesting thing about those movies is that you look at those and Batman's the only one that's like a franchise movie.
Yeah,
everything else is
starts
like
to franchises.
Yeah, everything else is like F1 is obviously not a franchise, but then after F1, it's Superman or it's Jurassic, Superman, Fantastic. You're like, it's just one thing after the other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. F1's probably once Fantastic Four is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cooked.
A little bit harder.
Yeah.
But so that was the week in horror for us. How was your week in horror? Let us know in the comments below. Feel free to write us in. Also, like I said, Patreon and join that Discord. Let us know what you've been watching, reading, and enjoying.
And did you get a flat tire while trying to watch a movie? Let me know.
To be clear, Adam was watching the movie. His girlfriend was driving the car. Yeah, Adam came in and was like, I got a flat tire while I was watching Dawn of the Dead. And I'm like, what?
I shouldn't have been watching it on my phone, but no.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. Oh, God.
But yeah, so the homeworks, like I said, we will get to in the next recording session.
Yeah.
So before we get into our top 5, let us jump into Jurassic World. We were already there.
Oh, yeah.
We're in it. Jurassic World Rebirth. I think I do consider the Jurassic films in the action horror genre.
Yeah.
I think especially the first two. Especially because all the ripoffs that ever get made of it are always in the horror section.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or air on the Sci-Fi Channel. Okay. First of all, what is your overall vibe with Jurassic as a series?
We've been doing this on Heroes Reforged where we've been revisiting a lot of these franchises.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, some of those movies I had not seen in a very long time, and Dominion I had stopped halfway through because I just couldn't get through it. So I was happy to revisit them. I genuinely love the first one. The first one is like in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I got to take my brother to see it, and that was incredible to take him to see it in theaters when he was, I think, 13. So it's been a movie that's been a part of my life forever, going to Universal Studios and all that stuff. Jurassic Park or Lost World Jurassic Park, I think I enjoyed more as a kid than I have as an adult. And the rest I've kind of seen as they've come out, and I've enjoyed them to various degrees. But I think that first one to me is the epitome of a perfect summer blockbuster movie. And who's surprised? This guy made Jaws, another book that he adapted to a film so perfectly. So yeah, I would say that after Jurassic Park, the first one, it's all over the place for me. Getting through Dominion was very painful. Fallen Kingdom, Hector really tried to convince me that it's a much better movie. I don't think it is. I think the first one and Jurassic World, surprisingly, are probably like my top two favorites. The Lost World, I like and I appreciate, but I think there's things about it, and it's a major tonal shift, I feel like, and I don't know if that has a lot to do with Spielberg kind of jumping back and forth between Jurassic Park and Schindler's List, and then going to Schindler's List, and his filmography kind of getting a little bit quote unquote darker for a few years. And I feel like The Lost World is a part of that. But it still has some of that sort of those Spielbergisms that I think we all enjoy, even though it is a little bit of a darker toned film. So going into this, I mean, goddamn, the bar was so low after Fallen Kingdom and Dominion that I was like, well, the only place to go is up. And it kind of moves. It kind of nudges a little bit, but I didn't think it was incredibly, amazingly better than the last two. But it is better, I thought, at least.
Yeah. So Jurassic Park, for a lot of people who want to make movies and stuff like that, who are of the generation or two before us, Star Wars is their movie. Where it's like, I saw Star Wars, I wanted to do that, and this, that, and the other. For me, that's Jurassic. The first one is definitely like, I saw it in theaters. Mom and Dad took me. It was such a seminal kind of, I'm already like a movie addicted kid, but that was like one of these like, oh, this is what movies can be. It's like, it's my top two. It's that and Young Frankenstein. And for me, the ranking system, I think for me, it goes in like descending order.
Sure, by release.
I never even saw Dominion. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I don't have any interest.
Cameron,
as we get older,
you're not missing out on much, my friend.
As we get older in life, I don't have the need for completionism anymore. And I love those three original characters so much that I was just like, you know what?
I'm good.
I'm keeping them locked in my head of the original trilogy, and that's okay.
Yep.
They can be name dropped in other films and all this other stuff, but Ian Malcolm, Ellie Sattler, and Alan Grant live in those first three movies, and that's where they can live.
I'm good.
And I'm fine with it. Lost World, I like Lost World quite a bit. I think the truck sequence is so good. The Spielberg's directing in that movie. And Spielberg post-Schindler, I think there is a degree of a darker tone. I don't want to say cynical, but there's a darker tone. I think through the rest of his filmography, I think the only film that doesn't have that dark tone that kind of returns, or quote unquote, returns back to Spielberg in the 80s is Tintin. I think outside of Tintin, all of his other movies have a kind of a tinge to them.
Interesting.
Because it goes after Schindler, it's then Lost World Amistad, Saving Private Ryan, Minority Report,
or AI, I think is
AI,
first.
which all those films are like, and when we say dark, that can be, it's a very broad word, but what it basically means is like, there is a tone that is
a little more serious,
is set throughout the rest of his filmography. Again, outside of Tintin, that there's more weight. And when I say weight, I guess I mean like there's like a somberness in comparison to something like Jaws, which we love and is fun. There's weight to it because people are getting eaten by sharks and the kid and her mom and everything. But there's not as much somber.
Yeah.
And I feel like after Schindler, Lost World, AI, and then even something that's supposed to be like fun and bubbly, it's like The Terminal, which deals with like, oh, your country got destroyed.
Yeah.
And so, I think the two Spielbergs post-Schindler, it's post-Schindler and then post-9/11.
Yes.
Because that's when you get War of the Worlds and Munich and Minority Report. There's a lot more conspiratorial concern and stuff like that. The Lost World, I think, being like the first film at the gate is also very interesting in that regard.
Totally.
But again, the sequences, I really like Malcolm. There's so many great moments. Jurassic Park 3, I think it knows what it is.
I love that it's 90 minutes.
Oh, if it was 2.5 hours, but the fact that it's 90 minutes, it knows what it is. It gets in and out. It's silly, but it knows what it is. And sometimes it's good to just know what you are.
Absolutely.
I do not like Jurassic World
or
Fallen Kingdom.
Almost
at all. And I'm not even, again, it's one of those things to say be lofty and be like, oh, the first one made me want to make movies. And it's like, well, would you ever give anyone else a chance to make a Jurassic movie if that's the bar? But again, like, I like part 2 and part 3, knows what it is. Jurassic World, it's all about what do you go for movies for. And granted, at the end of the day, we're hosting a horror movie podcast. I love the Friday the 13th movies. So what I'm about to say, people are going to be like, those aren't true in the Friday the 13th movies. But again, movies that know what they are.
Yeah.
Let me be clear about that.
Yeah.
The number one thing for me in film is character.
Mm-hmm.
If characters make sense or have interesting arcs, I can forgive plot holes.
Sure.
I can forgive moments that don't make sense, silliness, all the other stuff. If the character work is there, if you give me characters to care about, I'll go through to the end with you. Jurassic World, character assassinates John Hammond so badly, in my opinion, by being like, oh, yeah, he sold the park to another guy and said, yeah, go make it. And I'm like, well, that destroys his arc from the first film. What are you doing? And even though realistically, hey, people can change, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I think the first thing was so, I don't want to say traumatic, but like something to John Hammond that the last line, I can't endorse your park, neither can I.
True.
And so now Jurassic World is like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Reopen the park, Irfan Khan.
Yeah, because he very much makes the realization at the end of like, this was a bad idea.
And even Lost World reaffirms that.
Yeah.
With him being like, we need to leave these animals alone. We got to just, well, apparently not.
Yeah.
And he hired Jimmy Fallon to come do the Mr. D. I hate that movie. I hate Jurassic World. And I know for a lot of people, it's like, it's fun. It just is what it is. And this, that, and the other. And again, for me, at the end of the day, it's all about characters. I don't give a crap about any of the characters in that movie. And not even, again, in the horror movie sense of like Friday the 13th. Do you love any of the characters? I'm like, I don't know. But it knows what it is. It's 80 minutes. It's fun. They're going to serve their purposes.
Right.
Jurassic World, I'm like, I don't know what and
they're trying to character build.
They're trying, but also it's like they're not, because it's like, and I love a lot of the actors. This is no beef on the actors. But, in that movie, the actor, the Bryce Dallas Howard character, that is a character that in the end of the first film would have just been like killed. The corporate bad guy, which happens in all the other Jurassic movies.
Yeah.
The corporate bad guy gets eaten and torn in half.
They did it in Rebirth.
And this doesn't happen, which is fine. I don't mind subverting expectations, but why doesn't it happen?
Right.
And there's no answer other than she's also the love interest. Right. And then there's just lines of dialogue. And again, I like these actors. Man, this turned into a Jurassic World rant. I'm
here for it.
I love Jake Johnson. But his character having a Jurassic Park shirt and being like, oh, that first park was legit. I get it. We're being meta. We're talking about the first movie. The first park didn't open.
Right.
Like
where
this
why
never
do you have that?
This never opened. 8 people, like how many people got killed? There was no first park. The first park was never a thing to the public.
Yeah.
It was something in the books that Ian Malcolm wrote where it was like this tragedy that happened. Like, and I'm not trying to give it too much heaviness, but it's almost like, well, this is like a weird tragedy. What do you mean the first park was legit? But it's all this meta shit about like, the first movie and really trying to make sequels. Isn't that corporate greed? And I'm just like, fuck you. Like, make the fucking movie. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't want to watch a Friday the 13th movie that's 2+ hours long. And it's like, it's kind of like whoring out to make something pure. Why? And I'm like, what do you just shut the fuck up and just make the movie. Like,
where's the machete?
What are you doing? Like, and then the second film, J.A. Bayona is a very talented director. I think there are sequences in Fallen Kingdom that work.
Oh, yeah.
I think the third act, it's very silly in the mansion. I hate the clone girl in the end. I hate that line of dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-kid.
No.
In a movie. Every Jurassic film has a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm not like...
all the movies that we grew up with had amazing kid actors in it. So it's not like...
I'm never the person that's like, get that kid out of here. Yeah. But that line at the end when she lets all the dinosaurs go and she is just like, they're alive like I am. I'm like, oh no.
Boo.
And that is like, that's not even a horror movie dumb decision.
Right.
That is just like, well, we got to do another one.
Yeah.
Let's just jam it out.
We gotta make a trilogy.
I don't know how the dinosaurs get out, which I'm like, that's also, again, like, isn't that completely antithetical to the whole premise of the series, which is life finds a way?
Mm-hmm.
Kill the dinosaurs in the mansion and just have it be like one compy got out.
Yeah.
And then cut
Life
to
found a way.
Cut to the third one.
Yeah.
The dinosaurs are all over the world, and people can be like, "How?" And he's just like, "Life finds a way."
Yeah.
It's a line in the fucking series.
Yeah. I will say, I out of all those projects, I think I forgot to mention these, but my favorites also are Battle of Big Rock and the prologue to Dominion, more so than those movies.
Yeah. Don't know. Haven't seen them. So, after Fallen Kingdom, and again, like good actors. The director on Fallen Kingdom.
Jay Bayona.
Jay Bayona is great. I feel like it is, you never know with these big movies. Is it corporate notes? Is this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. But the scripts and storylines just don't work for me.
Yeah.
They don't work for me. I don't buy the character at all.
Yeah.
I don't buy anything the characters do. And I also don't buy whenever they try to just, and again, Fallen Kingdom, here's John Hammond's secret partner. I'm like, leave John Hammond alone.
Yeah. Let the man rest in peace.
He's sorry. He apologized. Leave this poor dead man alone.
Stop milking it. Oh, God.
So I never saw Dominion. Can't speak to it. Won't speak to it. Probably will never see it.
Ugh.
I'll die someday and be like, I don't know. I never got to it. What do you want me to do? So I won't talk about that.
I went to the other sixth movie, Jurassic World Rebirth.
So all that said, Rebirth, to me,
Mm-hmm.
Gareth Edwards, great director.
Mm-hmm.
David Kemp returning to write.
Right. For the first time since the first one?
Second one.
Second one.
He did Lost World. For those who don't know the name, David Kemp also did the first Mission Impossible movie.
Mm-hmm.
He did the first Spider-Man movie. Classic Hollywood hand.
Yeah.
Understands structure and character work. This is better than the Jurassic World trilogy by a mile and a half for me. It is a perfect 3.5. So 3 out of 5.
Right. Right in the middle.
Right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
I didn't leave upset. I didn't leave mad. I didn't feel like characters made decisions that made no sense.
Yeah.
Except for one thing, but whatever. Everything was like, this is the stakes. We're doing the stakes. This is the next stakes. We're hitting that. People might say that's dull. Be dull. Make a dull, good. Make a dull Jurassic Park movie.
Less is more.
You didn't bring up John Hammond.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. There are segments. The T-Rex segment, because he's only in it for one thing, which that's a problem. But
Yeah,
the T-Rex with the raft, amazing.
Oh,
So good.
so good. I was like, oh, the dinosaur is just being a dinosaur. Great.
The Monosaur chase sequence, which I think watching it, and because I've watched it twice recently too, and been listening to the score, I think there's a little Jaws play in the Monosaur sequence when they're chasing it on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Not the
Right.
the boat chase when they're chasing Jaws. I'm like, ooh, I think there's one or two notes.
Oh no, there was several moments in that movie where I was like, oh, this feels like Jaws.
Yeah.
And I had no problem with it.
So all like two amazing sequences. I like the family. I thought that dynamic was good.
I was surprised any of that shit worked because I remember watching the trailers and I'm going, why is this family here? What are they doing? And then you sit down and watch the movie and you're like, oh, they don't want to be here. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
They give Mahershala some great stuff to do. They
Yeah.
give him some depth. That's the thing. There are sequences in the beginning, the first half of this movie, where the characters just sit down and talk.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to know them and you understand their depth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is what happens when you bring in a screenwriter who's worked with Steven Spielberg multiple times.
Yeah.
And understands. And I, again, having not seen Dominion, the fact that this movie opens up and it's just like, yeah, all the dinosaurs around the world, they're dying. They're dying. They're just like, get the shit out of here.
That was a very shocking opening to that movie. I'm sitting there, I'm going like, oh, we're very quickly moving away from what they established in the last
They're like,
film.
just get back to a jungle island. Just
Great.
give us what we want.
Yeah, well, because like my big frustration with that sequel trilogy is that it spent so much time being concerned with lore and world building.
Yes.
Jurassic World. It's a world. It's a world. Dinosaurs are everywhere. They're in everything. They're in your fucking cereal. You're like, bro, this is too big now. Like, this is too big. You can't.
much.
It's like to constantly try to one up yourself is how you get to having plots with cloning, and and I'm just like, dude, this is
Which was in the clone thing.
so
Some people are
much.
going to say in the comments, if you want to, I understand cloning. That's how this all started in the first
Sure,
one anyway.
of course.
But it does feel like we have introduced human cloning, and then, from my understanding with Dominion, they do not deal with it. The fact that it's like, whoa, you have really let that genie out of the bottle. That they're out there. We have moved on to human cloning,
Right?
and it's just more like it's a plot convenience for the ending of the second film.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing I really appreciate about this movie is, like you said, they know their objective. They go to do their objective. They're derailed. So they just continue to change and shift their objectives until they can get the hell out of there. And it works for me. Like, there's a moment where Jonathan Bailey, I forget the name of the dinosaurs, but they're the long-necked ones with the long...
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
There's the moment where he like walks up to it and is overwhelmed with emotion when he touches it. And I got that feeling of Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler seeing the dinosaurs for the first time. I was like, oh, wow, that kind of surprised me. I was not expecting that. And I get it. Look, I've heard all the arguments in the comments, people saying like, yeah, but it's just retreading on those emotions that Spielberg did much better in 93. And I'm like, you're not wrong.
Oh, yeah. No, this isn't the first one.
Yeah.
No.
But also it's simplifying plots that have become way too convoluted in the sequels, and it's just letting me live in the world.
I think, I think there are great moments. So these are my, I'll say, issues.
Mm-hmm.
Love Scarlett Johansson. I think she's to some extent, it's very funny for being very famous, and I think beloved. Is slightly an underrated actress.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
agree.
she has much to do in this movie. I think for being the lead, not to say she's bad.
No.
I don't think she gets a lot to do. And I think she's supposed to have a character conflict.
Mm.
Like, they bring up stuff like she has PTSD from her former jobs, and that is she going to do the right thing, or is she going to give in to the greed and all this other stuff? And it's all verbally said, but you don't really see that. Scarlett Johansson, for the most part, plays this a little sarcastic, flippant.
Mm-hmm.
And not putting that on her, but I feel like the film wants that character to have some conflict, and you don't feel that at all.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a bummer too, because I agree with you. Like, she's great, underrated. I think she can absolutely carry a Jurassic Park movie easily. Very capable. But yeah, I think that was the thing. It felt like it did not want to commit to some things, that being one of it. And I would have almost liked if there was a little bit more depth to that, a little bit more emotion. So when certain things come up in conversation or whatever, that you almost, as the audience, like I almost would have loved to be unsure whether she's going to take the greedy route or if she's going to do the right thing as they present in the film.
And I think for me too, the other issues are I am over the mutant dinosaurs.
Me too.
I don't care anymore.
No.
The ending should have just been the T-Rex.
Yes.
Just make, like, I appreciate
Thank
this.
you, Cameron.
I appreciate the creature that they bring out at the end looked weird.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't mind it looking ugly and
But it's
having
like,
weird forearms.
how many more Godzilla movies is Gareth Edwards going to make?
Well, there's that, but it also just reaches a degree of, like, nothing is going to be as cool as the T-Rex.
No.
Like, I hate to say, like honestly, it was kind of cool to bring the Spinosauruses back in a way, but then treat them as, like, secondhand, because Jurassic Park 3 kind of showed.
Yeah.
No, people like the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Like, anytime, and even credit to Jurassic World, that even showed, like, no, people just like the T-Rex.
Yeah, that was the one redeeming thing at the end of that movie. I was like, that's cool, because that's in some way that is the iconography of Jurassic Park, and you want to see that character. So I love the scene with the raft down the river. Awesome use of the T-Rex.
Yes.
But, and I built this up for myself, I was like, at the end, oh, the T-Rex is going to come. The T-Rex is going to come. The T-Rex is going to come. And it never showed up. And I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, it never showed up again. And so that felt like, I don't know. That's the interesting difference of, like, the famous story in the first Jurassic is the T-Rex was not going to be in the end.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be that the raptors got crushed by the bones. Now, when they were climbing down, the bones would fall and crush the raptors. And then
Boring.
the best character in the world, John Hammond. Did nothing.
Son of a bitch.
Did nothing wrong. Perfectly innocent John Hammond. Shows up, and they leave. And it was during production, Spielberg was like, no, the T-Rex has to come back. The audience will be mad if they doesn't.
Smart.
And it does, but I get it too. You don't want to just copy the end of Jurassic World.
Of course.
So there is that, like, balance, but yeah, I don't need, this is done very well. There's clearly probably going to be another one after this.
Well, I will give them credit that
It doesn't end on some kind of thing.
Yes.
It doesn't end on like
sequel bait.
Sequel bait. There's no sequel bait. So credit to them on that. But yeah, I don't need any more of the mutant dinosaur.
I don't either.
things.
Also, like did I have a good chuckle when this happened? Yes. But the fact that the whole movie is kickstarted by a Snickers wrapper going Final Destination, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I was thought it's so funny because like it's a fun opening sequence. I'm also like, did this matter? This took place 17 years ago.
No.
I think this place would have been abandoned.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, and also like
it just gives us that Jurassic opening.
It gives us the Jurassic opening, and it shows them the mutated monster. I'm like, that's fine. I guess you're just setting this up for the end, which I didn't necessarily need, but okay.
If they're going to keep making Jurassic movies, look at the first one again in the sense of you can introduce a lot of characters, not just for fodder. And if you know they're going to die, make them likable.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the characters were unlikable.
Right.
But I would say the first 4 characters that eat it, I'm like, I didn't know anything about them.
One of them was Ed Skrein.
Yeah, which listen, hey man.
Oh, I didn't even know he was in the movie until I sat down to watch it.
And listen, good for him. If someone was like, hey, do you want to be in a Jurassic movie? You'll spend 2 days. You'll get to go to Costa Rica. You're going to get killed right away.
Yeah.
Do it. But there is that degree of like, oh, I kind of wish Muldoon, Mr. Allen, the characters from the first movie, when they die, you're like, no. And even I'll give credit to the second one. There's a lot of characters in that second movie. When they die, you're like, oh, I like that guy. And it feels like this movie and the other ones aren't willing to pull that trigger.
Yeah.
They're not willing to pull the trigger of like, we like that guy, kill him. It's like, we like that guy. Well, he should definitely not even remotely get hurt.
Yeah, and I don't know if we want to spoil it, but there is a character that the fate of that character was reworked several times.
Clearly.
Because I was like, okay, you committed to this. Great. 5 minutes later, you son of a bitch, you undid it. Why?
and that's the thing. And that's just about tension building.
Yeah.
Like having characters you like put in situations where you're like, well, people can die. They're like, oh my God, like what is, and that doesn't mean to say like, don't kill unlikable characters as well. Obviously the first one, the lawyer gets it. Nedry gets it. But you also get to spend time with those characters. You get to know them very well. So even if you didn't like them when they die, you're like, whoa, what, it felt like this movie, there was a lot of characters introduced for that boat. And just the ones that died, I'm like, oh, the ones that had like 3 lines.
Right. Yeah, and then there were maybe like 2-3 other characters that I'm like, they could have easily gone, and there would have been emotional. You would have felt emotion because you're spending the whole movie with them. But yeah, the movie chose to not commit to that, and I do wonder, was that something that was maybe a studio thing, which I don't know, maybe for some of them, or if I don't know. I would love to. Maybe on the Blu-ray they'll do some kind of a commentary that explains like, well, we toyed around with offing some of these characters because they play with offing some characters multiple times.
Yes.
And I'm like, you bastards, just do it. Just commit to it.
So that's the only but again, like I think for me this falls right into the 2 great sequences. Character work is there, but it does kind of hit like, oh, I think it's right in the middle for me. It's for me, again, having not seen Dominion, better than the Jurassic trilogy, the World trilogy, probably even better than 3. I think I'll give it over the 3. So I think for me now in the line, it would go 1, 2, this
Rebirth. Yeah, that's fair. I think I would have to look at my letterbox, which I'm not going to do, but it's somewhere close to yours. It's either I have the first one, the second one, and then Rebirth, or the first, second, World, and then Rebirth. Something like that, maybe. But yeah, I enjoyed it. If they make another one, I wouldn't mind Gareth Edwards coming back to do another one.
I agree.
If he's interested. I would just like you're saying, a little bit more character development. Let me love the characters a little bit more. Give them a little bit more depth. And commit to offing people and get rid of the mutated dinos. Please.
Yep, 100%. So what'd you see? Did you see Jurassic World, Rebirth? What'd you think of it? What's your feelings on the World trilogy? Am I out of my mind? If you were to represent John Hammond in court, what would be your case? Let me know in the comments below.
Oh man.
But that said, final segment for today, our top 5 shocking moments in horror.
Yeah.
For those who don't remember, the discussion on that was going to be moments that were shocking, but not necessarily like Final Destination jump scare, death shocking. More like a moment where you're like, whoa, kind of a thing, like something happened, a twist, a reveal, anything like that. So Adam, feel free to go first.
I do have a couple of deaths on here. However, I put them on here because when I watched the movie for the first time, I was like, okay, I did not see that shit coming at all. But for are we gonna do 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
Do 5 to 1. Count
5 to 1. All right. My first one is actually from a movie that came out pretty recently in the last couple of years that I'm still waiting for 20th Century Studios to put on a goddamn Blu-ray disc.
Oh.
From Barbarian.
Yep.
It's when AJ throws Tess off of the water tower, I guess. Did not see that coming at all because I'm sitting there watching the movie and I'm going like, all right, cool. Like, how are we going to resolve this movie? And then literally just picks her up and dumps her over the edge. And I went, well, that was definitely not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. So, and obviously like that's not the end of the character, but you know, that was a moment for me that, you know, you're kind of treating that character as, I don't know, the lead, co-lead of that whole entire film, and to see them get thrown off an enormously high ledge and you're like, oh, is this the end of the movie? Like, is this it? What are we doing for the next 10 minutes? That was a shocking one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good. My number 5 is from Let the Right One In, the Swedish.
The original?
The original. It is, how do you put this? The reveal of the little boy Oscar sneaking a look while the young girl is changing. And there is a reveal or I don't even want to say a twist, but there's something about the character and it kind of recontextualizes things within the film in a big way. And that was one of those things that makes things both interesting and they don't really confirm anything, but it makes you, in a good way, discuss the origin of the character, who the older guy was, and all this other stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff there with just one shot. That was just a shocking moment. I remember seeing that in the theater. And the audience's response being like a mixture of like confusion and whoa kind of a thing.
Yeah. Is that same thing in the remake that Matt Reeves did?
I don't recall it being in there.
Okay. Because that's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. My number 4, this was a fun reveal to me because I feel like through pop culture osmosis I had multiple things told to me and I didn't really know what to believe and I was kind of like that doesn't make any sense. I feel like people are talking about the wrong movie. But it is the revelation that Pamela Voorhees is the killer in Friday the 13th. Because I was introduced to Friday the 13th with part 3.
Yeah.
So my entry point into the series is Jason Voorhees being the serial killer. And years later, I watched the first one.
Yep.
So the whole time I'm like, oh, Jason.
Yep.
And then there would be these little interactions that the characters would have with the killer. Very, very minor. But I was like, oh, that's an interesting reaction to have to someone who looks as disfigured as Jason does.
Yeah.
And then came the revelation that Pamela was the actual killer. And it really spun the movie in a new way for me that made it so unexpected that I thought, wow, this is actually really cool that you can do something like this, that it doesn't have to just be the thing that you expect. You expect it to be this really crazy, scary looking monster, and it is essentially this like old woman who is obviously very scary, but I liked how it subverted my expectations, especially at that age, because I think horror was leaving a big impression in my brain in my like late teenage years. So I loved that revelation, and I was excited. I was happy that pop culture osmosis didn't totally ruin it for me.
Right.
That I had it confused in my own head what it actually ended up being. So that was a really fun one.
My number 4 is Tiffany the doll gives birth.
Holy
the end of Bride of Chucky.
Jesus.
That was so unexpected.
Yeah.
The fact that Bride of Chucky, I think for a lot of people is like the height of the series. It's where it both becomes comedic and leans into its horror in a crazy way, directed by Ronnie Yu. The fact that the two dolls have sex and then at the very end of the movie, her burnt body gives birth to a human doll hybrid and there's blood everywhere. And I just remember that being one of those moments at the end where the audience was like, what the hell?
That makes total sense.
Tiffany gives birth. Bride of Chucky.
That makes total sense. And next one is also from another recent film. This one is from Hereditary. And it is the moment that Charlie sticks her head out the window and gets her head lobbed off by electrical pole.
Yeah.
That I don't usually jump scares in theaters don't work on me because I'm like, okay, it's coming. That moment in the theater, I was like, oh, holy crap. It was very unexpected. And I didn't really know Ari Aster's work at that point that well. So it was another one of those moments where I was like, cool, I need to be on my toes paying attention because at any point something nuts will happen. And as if you've seen the movie, more things happen. But that because the movie also very much hyped up that character to be the almost
thing.
like the lead through the whole film. And then the character's dead and you're like, oh, what are we doing for another hour and a half?
My number 3, I'm bumping it up the list a little bit. My number 3 is also from Hereditary. It is the self-decapitation in the attic.
Yeah.
That is one of those chilling moments. Yeah. And that whole sequence pretty much is chilling. I remember because we saw it together. And so I remember.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. With Uber. And I remember
the
scene specifically when this is right before the self-decapitation, when he is in his bedroom and you slowly start to realize she is on the wall.
Oh my God, dude.
What was great about seeing that opening night was the pocket of the audience.
Yeah.
People who were seeing it,
like
people who were not seeing it.
Yeah.
Because you started to hear just like, and it was a packed house.
Yeah.
You started to hear people reacting, but not all at once.
What?
Amazing. But yeah, the self-decapitation moment, I think, was the thing that still visually really sticks with me.
Yeah. This is another pretty big reveal in classic horror. It's from Psycho, which I think everyone now knows where I'm going with this. This left a massive impression on me because I was a very young kid when I saw this movie. I was not as young as when I saw Halloween, but I maybe was like 11 and 12 or 12 when I saw Psycho for the first time. But it's the actual revelation that Norman Bates is in fact the killer or his mother. Seeing that grown man run in with that dress and that wig, carrying that knife, I was so confused. I didn't know what to make of it because I was wait a minute, the mother's dead. What? I really I couldn't in my head. I think I was also 11 or 12 or however. So I couldn't completely figure out, break apart what was going on. But I just remember seeing there being completely shocked and awe and thinking to myself, what the hell just happened in this movie? That was left a huge impression in my brain as a kid.
Yeah, that's a huge one. I was actually debating too. Have you ever seen Psycho 2?
I haven't, but I do have a 35 millimeter, a copy of the print at home.
Psycho 2 is a good time. It's a really good time.
I do want to buy that 4K Blu-ray set that's in the UK.
Oh yeah. That just came out. Yeah, that. Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah.
My next one. So my number 2. I gotta go. There was a lot of thinking about the other classic horror series and horror films and stuff like that. But the one I finally kind of started to lean into, I'm bringing it back. Italian. The eyeball in Lucio Fulci's Zombie.
Oh, okay. I need to watch that.
It is a slow someone getting pulled for a movie that's got also the shark versus zombie segment. Someone getting pulled into a sharp thing into their eyeball, and you're like, well, they gotta cut away. They do not. It is revolting. Shocking. I remember the first time I saw it and I was like, oh, and that's the thing to say, shocking doesn't necessarily mean it could just be it's stuck with you.
Yeah.
It is embedded, baby. The eyeball from Fulci's Zombie will forever implanted.
Yeah. Number 1, I'm not even going to waste any time telling you, it's the chestburster scene from Alien. I saw that movie for the very first time when I worked at AMC. Across the street, they had a movie theater that played old 35 millimeter prints.
Oh, cool.
They I don't know where they got them from, but maybe the studio. So I went and I saw a double bill of Alien and Aliens back to back, and I had never seen either of those movies before. Holy shit! That chestburster scene, another moment that I was like, wow, not what I expected at all to happen. Great movie also, but yeah, just completely surprised me in so many ways and set the stage for me just falling in love with those first 2 films especially.
My number 1 Exorcist 3, the shears. The
Oh, across the hallway?
in the hallway.
God damn, that's a good one.
What a moment. For even still, and the fact that it then cuts to, for those who don't know, Exorcist 3 rules. I think it rules.
Isn't
I think
it
it's
William
now,
Peter Blatty
wrote and directed it, yeah. And I think it's now in the last 5 years gotten its dues, getting its respect. Shout Factory putting out a 4K with all these special features and everything. I think it's been getting its love. But for the longest time growing up, Exorcist 3 was like, 2's the really bad one and 3's weird. And it is
well,
weird.
then weird is good.
But even if you don't like 3, undeniable. That hallway sequence is fantastic.
Yeah, holy
and
shit.
then cutting from out of that into a push zoom into like a Jesus statue with its eyes open. Haunting, really creepy, and the fact that it is the definition of slow burn. The fact that you think all the different jumps are going to happen at certain points. She walks into this room, the lights go out, nothing happens. Just at the point when you start to feel like that's when this huge music sting hits, the camera pushes in. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Exorcist 3.
I saw that the first time I saw that was on YouTube.
Oh,
and I don't remember why someone was telling me to watch it, or it might have been in a compilation. I remember watching with my headphones turned up all the way, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah, no, that's not a headphone warner.
No, not at all, not at all. It was a big mistake, but it was great.
So those are our top 5 shocking moments. What about you? What do you think? What are your top 5? What's your number 1? Any you feel we missed? But let's talk about what our next top 5 will be. I want to do top 5 animals.
Oh.
Top 5 animals in horror.
Okay. All right. I like this. This is a good one.
That can be the animal is the villain.
Sure.
It could be the dog from Poltergeist.
Yeah.
They have them.
They do. They do. That's a good one. Damn, that's a really good one. All right, cool. I like that. I like
top 5 animals in horror. Let us know your list as well. But that's going to bring us to the end of this episode of Glorious Nightmares. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure you go to our Patreon, join our Discord, interact with us online, interact with us on Instagram, all those kinds of things. Send us some emails. And yeah, we're going to be talking soon about the Dead Trilogy. We'll be recording that for patrons. And our next episode is going to be a Jaws special. And then after that, we will get back to the homework, top 5 animals, things of that nature. It should be a really good one.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. And thanks for just chatting with us about all the stuff that we love. We super appreciate your guys' support. We couldn't do it without you. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.